Hey guys, Rob here from D&D Toy Reviews, and today we're going to be looking at the Mecha Fans Toys MS-29 Falcon, or G1 Springer. So let's jump into
accessories.
Okay, so for accessories we get a really great looking sword with a very nice blade on it that gets pretty wide towards the end there. We get this beautifully painted gun done in a wonderful silver, and has plenty of, come on Springer, plenty of sculpted in detail, if you can see that. We get that bomb from the movie, also done in the same silver paint, and we get a flight stand adapter for helicopter mode. And that's pretty much it. So let's jump into
Articulation.
So for articulation, we'll start at the head. There's a ball joint at the head, which is a little bit limited for up and down. We get some up and down, but not much. Plenty of rotation, a little bit of waggle side to side. The transformation joint does allow you to bend the head back a little bit, but not all that much. Shoulders also on a ball joint, so you go all the way around, that far up to the side, so pretty good range of motion. When you bring them down, the shoulder pads will come down, but they just rotate back up. Bicep swivel, we get double jointed elbows with a great range. No wrist articulation, which is unfortunate, especially since he has a sword. A waist swivel. Now it looks like there should be an ab crunch here, but it's not actually an ab crunch. It just flips this flap at the front forward for bot mode and down for the transformations. You could pull out the torso, but then the back will still be in place, so it looks a bit weird. Shoulders also on a ball, hips also on a ball joint. We get out to the side that far, forward all the way back, back all the way. We get a thigh swivel, single jointed knees that are very limited, not even 90 degrees, which is unfortunate. Little bit of motion back and forward for the foot, and a really great ankle pivot. And that's it for articulation. So let's jump into
transformation.
Okay, so going into helicopter mode, the first thing we're going to do is spin the waist around and then rotate the legs back around at the thigh cut. Pull this flap out here. Now the instructions tell you when you rotate the foot up to have it facing this direction. But if you do that, you're going to have a massive gap here between the foot area and this hinge, and it looks kind of odd to say the least. So I just like to rotate it back like that. Flip the fin out. Same thing on the other side. Foot up, over, fin out. Get the tail fins ready. And we're going to slide the leg up and it will lock in place. I don't know if you can hear that click, but it will click when it's in place so you know it's locked. And just sandwich everything together. Now getting it to stay together can be a little tricky at first if everything's not lined up properly. You want to fold these fins in at the hinge so they make kind of an L shape. But once everything is locked in, it's good and solid. So you just got to fiddle around with it till everything locks into place. And once it's locked in, you're good. Rotate those hips a little bit more in line. Okay, now we're going to come around to the front, flip the torso down, flip the head back. At the same time, we got to flip this down, pull the chest a bit forward, can't talk today. Rotate the head back, flip up the front of the helicopter mode. The back is going to come and hinge down, and it will pull up this flap on the cockpit. Now this flap on the cockpit does like to get pushed down inside during transformation, so be mindful of that. And this will lock in place on these tabs on the hips. So just push that into place, rotate that up. And for the arms, we're going to flip up the shoulder armor there and flip back that part. Rotate the hand to the side. And for this step, you are going to need some kind of a tool because there are some parts that are a little difficult to get out. We need to flip up this flap on the arm, rotate the hand towards the back like so. And now here, there are two pieces that we need to flip out. One is a flap inside here. And I find it works best if you kind of get a screwdriver or something in here to get it started. And then come around to this side and get it in here and just kind of prise it out until it comes. Sometimes it just doesn't want to come out. It's very difficult to get this part out. This is probably the most difficult part of the entire transformation. So just give me 1 second while I get this out. And it just does not want to come out for me today because of course not. There we go. So that's just going to cover up the gap that would be here. And the second part is to just push out those little yellow, I don't know, skids, spears, triangles, whatever you want to call them, he has on the front of his helicopter there. And just tab that arm into the shoulder here. And then fold the, sorry, you can't see that. Fold the yellow part of the shoulder armor down, like so, and then just wrap it down and around. And then that is done on that side. Unfortunately, it doesn't lock into place anywhere on here, so it kind of just bumps around when you're handling the toy. And we want to do the same thing on the other side. Flip out the armor, flip up that arm flap, sorry, rotate the arm out. The hand will tab onto this little tab here. It will just grab on like that, so that locks that in place. Flip out that little green bit. There we go. That one came out nice and easy. Push out that yellow bit there. Close everything up. Fold, fold, fold. And we're almost done. On my copy, this flap doesn't lock in very securely, but that could be a mileage may vary sort of thing. Oh, that one went back in. We take our sword, pull it apart, rotate the blades down, plug into the hole on the back, adjust your fins as you please, and there, that's the helicopter pretty much done. Just get everything lined up as you like. The blades do spin if you angle these fins up too far or have the blade pushed in too far. It will bump into those fins on the back, but it's easy enough to get clearance. And the flight adapter, we come back here and it's supposed to not drop on the floor like that. Just a second, butterfingers. It just clips in, so it's got this bit sticking off the back here. There's the screw hole there. It just plugs in there, and you can pop it onto a flight adapter, a flight stand. Sorry. Now, with this being Springer, he is a triple changer. So let's jump into his next transformation. Okay, so to go to his car mode, we start by pulling out the helicopter blade. We'll just close that up. When you close the sword up, you might need to push down on the pin to get it to close nice and flush. Otherwise, there might be a gap in the middle of the blade there. So we're going to start by flipping up the shoulder armor. Flip out the hands. We need to close up these yellow bits. Now, when you're folding these back in, if you don't fold it in so that it angles inward, the tab here will bump on the arm and it won't close up properly. And we fold down that green flap inside, fold the arm around, close that up, and we're going to want to rotate the arm so that this round peg here lines up with that hole there, and then we can just tab that right in. And then this bit just kind of flattens down. It doesn't really have a proper place that it's supposed to go into. Nothing locks in place there, so you can do it as you please. The instructions show it being kind of squared off like that, but you can also leave it in the same position it was in for the helicopter. So same thing on the other side, flip in the yellow bit, rotate the arm out, close that up, straighten up the arm, rotate at the bicep, plug it in, and actually before we want to close that up, sorry, we need to fold out the wheels. So the wheels just come out. There is a tab here and a slot in the yellow bit here. So you just angle that out and it will give a little bit of force, but just push on it and it will go out. And tab it in, rotate the wheel, same thing on the other side, tab it into the yellow bit, rotate the wheel, fold those down. So yeah, you can see after you've got the wheels out, it will only go down so far. That was my mistake, I forgot about that. Now the legs, we want to separate them. We need to spin the waist around, so we're going to have to pull, I forgot that too. You have to pull the backpack up, rotate the waist, close it back down, plug those arms back in because I got ahead of myself. There we go. And then these, let's see here, we got to rotate the thighs back as well, so we probably should have left that backpack up. Wow, I'm doing a terrible job. Rotate that, there we go, now it's lined up, okay. So here we go, put that backpack back down, lock it onto those thighs again, flip down the cockpit, plug in the arms, plug in the other arm, get everything lined up nicely, tab, tab, tab. The foot we can rotate forward now, just like so. This, the tail fin, we're going to fold it back down and around like that. The wheels will flip out. And then this will come around and tab into the side of the leg, just along here. We can tab these legs together too. There's a tab in the bottom of the thigh there, or yeah, thigh. The feet tab together kind of, they don't really lock, it just kind of holds it in place a little. Flip out the wheel, close that, flip that down, flip that up, and there we go. There is Springer's car mode. And these don't want to stay together. There we go. And it rolls kind of okay if you get all the wheels flush, which can be a bit of a challenge. Of the two modes, the car is definitely the better. The helicopter does suffer from being overly long. I really can't talk. Overly long and kind of a squished down front end. And unfortunately with triple changers, you do seem to get sacrifice in one of the alt modes. And it seems like MFT went for car mode over helicopter mode. And there we go. So, getting him back to bot mode since we're here. Flip these out, pull the legs down, close. Now, when it came packaged, it had the wheels out, but I think it makes for a cleaner bot mode to have them folded in. Fold the foot down, close that up. And this can sometimes be a little tricky getting the hinges lined up. Now, also it shows this rear flap being folded around the back like this, but if you do that, it sticks out quite ugly from behind. And it just folds up so much cleaner and more flush like that. But it's up to you, whatever you prefer. I just like to have it folded around because it makes it look like it's got a cleaner silhouette. Fold the foot down, rotate, fold that up. When we're doing the torso back to bot mode, just give me 1 second here, there is one thing you need to pay attention to, and that is getting this cockpit down. The cockpit area, let's see if we can get that light on there a little better. So the cockpit area needs to fold down and lie flush with the waist assembly there. Otherwise, you're not going to get the backpack up properly. So we fold that up, flip out the head, Close this up. Flip this down out the way. Close, close, close. And there are two tabs on either side, one on either side of the torso here that you need to get lined up or it won't lock in place. Fold that up. Arm down. Back of the arm up. Shoulder armor, sorry, up. Fold up the backpack. And there we go. There is Springer. And with this being an MFT, it is a little on the larger side for Legends. Currently, I only have available the New Age Jazz for a scale, but there he is next to New Age Jazz. So he is a wee bit on the big side for your New Age display if that's what you went with. But I guess you could fudge it if you really have to, or if you don't mind Springer being a big boy. And overall, I mean, the plastic feels a little bit better than some of the earlier MFT releases. The earlier ones felt very brittle and sharp and might stab you if you, put a little bit too much force on it. This definitely feels like it's made of better plastic, but still not quite up to the same quality of plastic as, say, MFT or that nylon-y stuff that Magic Square uses. And this is actually their second take on Springer, and this is so much better than the first one. The first one seemed to be more of a early IDW inspired with the, or not IDW, sorry, the Studio Ox with the shoulder pylon sticking up like that, and was oddly colored and had weird shaped swords and all sorts of stuff. So this second take is definitely much, much better. And for the price, yeah, I mean, if you're a Legends collector, you need a Springer. You don't have very many options, and this is probably the best one you got. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you next time.